A woman shared this story last year. Her female dog had always been attached to her husband for years. She'd run to him when he called, sit beside him while he ate. But one day something changed. Her husband sat on the couch with lunch and called the dog. The dog didn't move. Instead, she waited behind the woman for hours, without moving an inch. That night, the woman took a pregnancy test. It was positive. Her dog knew before she did. And this isn't a coincidence. A 2025 study documented for the first time just how common this actually is. When people hear this, most say coincidence. Or they say dogs just like routine. They're reacting to change. That's partially true, but it's not the whole story. Because a 2025 study published in the journal Anthrozoös examined 130 dog owners. 2/3 said their dog's behavior changed during their pregnancy. And more than a quarter said this: the changes began before they themselves knew they were pregnant. The dog knew first. This isn't intuition, this is biology. And once you understand the biology, the story becomes something much more remarkable. Over a quarter of owners reported changes in their dog's behavior before they themselves had any idea they were pregnant. No test, no symptoms, no confirmation, just a dog that started acting differently. And in many cases, that behavior change was the first signal, the thing that made them take the test in the first place. Has your dog ever done something that made you pay closer attention to something happening in your own body? Write it in the comments. The first layer, scent. A dog's nose is between 10,000 and 100,000 times more sensitive than a human's. From the first weeks of pregnancy, significant hormonal shifts begin in the body. HCG, estrogen, progesterone, and prolactin levels all rise. These hormones exit the body through sweat, breath, and skin. Humans don't feel this change. They don't notice it at all. But for a dog, this change is like a neon sign. Researchers say a dog's nose is sensitive enough to detect chemical changes in the human body up to a week before a pregnancy test would come back positive. Before the test strip even knows. Before you know what's happening in your own body, your dog already does. Think about that for a moment. 300 million scent receptors versus our 6 million. Your body is broadcasting a signal you can't detect. Your dog is receiving it clearly. The most private change in your biology, they already know. Did your dog behave differently before you found out you were pregnant? Write it in the comments. These stories are always extraordinary. The second layer, behavior changes. The 2025 study examined 5 different behavioral categories, and a consistent pattern emerged. Dogs became more clingy with pregnant owners, followed them more, leaned against them more. Some dogs paid more attention to the abdominal area, brought their nose closer, sniffed for longer. Some became more protective, more cautious around strangers. And some went the other way, sought less contact, approached more carefully, as if they sensed something had changed but couldn't quite figure out what. Researchers say these changes aren't random. The dog is detecting something and processing what to do with that information. And what's remarkable is the range of responses. Some dogs became more physical, more contact, more proximity, more touch. Some became more watchful, less contact but more visual monitoring, tracking their owner's every move from a careful distance. Some showed both at different times, but across all of them the common thread was the same. Something has changed in this person I am bonded to, and I need to respond to that. Which category did your dog fall into? Closer and more protective, or more cautious and uncertain? Write it in the comments. Now the third layer, and this is the most interesting one. Dogs don't only understand through scent, they understand through behavior too. A pregnant person moves differently, sits differently, sleeps differently, breathes differently, sometimes more tired, sometimes more sensitive. Dogs read these changes too. Researchers found that dogs process scent change, posture change, and routine change simultaneously. And when all these signals point in the same direction, the dog responds accordingly. Throughout a pregnancy, the owner is changing, and the dog tracks every step of that change. This is a dog doing what they were built to do, reading the full picture of the person they're bonded to, not just one signal, all of them at once. And here's what makes this significant. Pregnancy isn't a single event, it's a 9-month progression. The scent changes, the movement changes, the sleep changes, the emotional state changes week by week, and through all of it, the dog is updating their model of you in real time. Every change logged, every shift noted. The most comprehensive ongoing assessment of your well-being that any being in your life is running. quietly, constantly, without being asked. Here's what surprised researchers most. The same 2025 study found that dogs who showed protective or anxious behaviors before the pregnancy showed significantly more pronounced changes during it. Dogs that were already emotionally sensitive felt the change earlier and more strongly. And this means something important. How your dog responds to your pregnancy is also a reflection of how deeply bonded they are to you. Deeper bond, earlier detection, how intertwined your dog is with you. You can actually see it in their behavior when you're pregnant. It's a living measurement of the bond. The same sensitivity that makes them react to your stress, your sadness, your joy. It's the same sensitivity that detects this. They're not doing something new. They're doing what they always do, just applied to the biggest change you've ever gone through. And there's something worth sitting with here. The dogs that responded most strongly weren't necessarily the most trained or the most obedient. They were the most bonded, the ones who had spent the most time tuned into their specific person. Bond strength, not breed, not age, not training, was the strongest predictor of how early and how clearly the dog responded. The relationship itself was the instrument. This wasn't accidental. For 15,000 years, dogs learned to detect changes in human health, noticing the sick person, protecting the pregnant person, staying beside the weakening person. All of it was a survival advantage. Today, when your dog clings to you more during pregnancy, sniffs your belly, watches you with more attention, all of it is the continuation of that 15,000-year history. You are changing. They know, and they stay closer because of it. Consider what this means in the context of the whole relationship. Your dog has been reading you since the day you met. They know your baseline. They know what you smell like when you're stressed versus rested. They know your normal movement and your altered movement. They know your routine and when it shifts. Pregnancy changes all of these simultaneously. And a dog that knows you well enough will notice before anyone else does, including you. One important note here. If you're pregnant and your dog is showing extreme behavioral changes, refusing to eat, unable to settle, showing signs of significant anxiety, this is worth addressing with a professional. The bond amplifies everything. For most dogs, that means more closeness and more protectiveness. For some dogs with existing anxiety, the change in your chemistry can intensify what was already there. A calm, secure dog will likely become even more devoted during this time. That's the bond doing exactly what it was designed to do. So if your dog is suddenly acting differently and you don't know why yet, there might be something your body already knows. You are changing, and they are with you. There's something profound in that. In one of the most significant moments of a human life, the beginning of a new one, the first witness isn't a doctor, it isn't a partner, it isn't a friend, it's the dog. Quietly, without fanfare, without being asked, just doing what they've always done, paying attention to you, being present with you, knowing you. On this channel, every week we go deeper into the science of the bond between you and your dog, because they chose to spend their one life with you. They deserve to be understood.